E, what's the definition of a snitch? Sorry, nigga, I'm trying to come home.
LeBron, though, I finna slam dunk. Get big on you fake pumps. That pump no fake pump. Bitch fell for the pump fake. Got him talking like first take. Get it right on the first take. Hit the hole in the first.
Bruh, I was watching the case all night. Before we got on the mic, I was just telling you, for me, this is the most interesting case I've seen in my life, only because it's all public. Back when we was younger, like in the early 2000s, even in the 90s, when we went back and researched things, information came out a lot later. If you wasn't in the courthouse or you wasn't in the streets and knew exactly about it, you didn't see it. Yeah. Now all this is just public information.
I was gonna say, because they got every, like, I just been reading it. I ain't been watching it. I just read it, and they got, like,
that's all it is just the court transcripts. Yeah,
it was actually showing it on TV at night. I don't have time for that, but I was reading it, and they was actually, like, putting out everything that this man said, and this man taking down, like, people that don't got nothing to do with him, you know what I'm saying? Him or the situation.
He was telling on Trippie Redd, all kind of shit.
Saying. Like, you knocking people off that don't got nothing to do with what
and that's what
going on.
Everybody was talking about, like, man, what the hell ASAP Rocky and French Montana got to do with it? I'm like, bruh, they names is just in it because of the situation. Like, something happened at Yams Day or something happened involving French Montana's bodyguard. So he was just naming people as far as that goes. But bruh, the craziest shit I was seeing, like, as far as the case goes, his whole point involving in the case is to pinpoint everybody in the organization. They're asking him questions about who he is, trying to basically make sure he's a credible witness, like establish that he was an active member in the gang. So they asking him dumbass questions leading into that. Then they ask him questions leading into the fucking hierarchy of the gang. And so he showed the prosecutors the blood handshakes and all the signs. That shit was crazy. Like, he did the handshake with his own hands.
Right.
I was like, nigga, that shit's like, crazy.
Can you show us how to do it or whatever? And
yeah.
Like, well, I'm gonna need 2 hands. You know what I'm saying? So then he just started doing it with his own hand, which is, but
how the hell you do a handshake with just your hands?
You have to ask that man. You know what I'm saying? Like, matter of fact, you'll have to be a sit-in to see that happen. But I
wish I could have been in that courtroom. Bro, they said it was like a party in there. They said they was playing Kuda and Gumbo and all kind of shit.
Music. But I was telling somebody the other day, they asked me a question about exactly how I did the same thing. You asked how I felt about it. I'm like, but I'm looking at the situation and I'm thinking about the situation, but I'm looking at him and then I'm looking at the people he's around.
Yeah.
These people formed this, and then they brought him along. You know what I'm saying? So they were still kind of like trying to figure their way too. You know what I'm saying? The way I'm looking at it, they was in process, but they seen he had the avenue for the money, to put the money behind it. You know what I'm saying? So they took him. I think this is a kid from the street. Like, he's from the streets, but he's not from the streets. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's one of the questions I had for you. Like, so who do you think used who in that situation? Do you think Tekashi used them trying to blow up, or do you think they used him trying to get right?
I think that was mutual.
Mutual?
I think that went, we gonna use you and I'm gonna use y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because
who would you put at fault more, though?
Ooh, that's a good question. That's a good question.
For real.
I think in that situation, I would put the game at fault more. You know what I'm saying? Because you have to think about who you dealing with.
Here's my whole thing with this shit. It's like, at the end of the day, no matter what you do, I don't care what it is. And I just had a conversation about this the other day. I was snapping about this shit. No matter what you do, you have to have integrity. Right. That shit comes first. Who you are comes first every time. Yeah. I feel like as far as the game goes, I'm disappointed in them niggas, dog. Y'all niggas started an organization from scratch.
Man, them folks didn't even take the time to test that man loyalty.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you didn't test this man on anything other than the fact that he could rap and he had money and had a career that would back y'all financially.
And did you see in the court papers, they basically was talking about how, like, he basically explained everything. He started out as a fucking rock and roll rapper, and then he switched and he started rapping. And he had the song Gummo, which was a street song that he was just playing around with. And he was like, you know what, I need some gang members for this video. And that was in October.
And that's what brought him in connection with.
Yeah, they brung all the Bloods there.
I ain't speaking no names. I don't know these people, but
yeah,
I know him and what he had going on and what he stands for is not what they're affiliated with. You know what I'm saying? Like, these people are really, like, initiated into a situation. This man is just coming,
and I think that's what's crazy. Like,
a
dog,
music background.
that's where the integrity comes in. So you mean to tell me y'all first time meeting this guy was in September, October, and y'all go from meeting him September, October, straight into initiating him into the gang in November.
Right.
That shit is crazy as hell.
But then they asked him what he had to do.
Yeah.
Asked him the questions about what he had to do to get in the gang, and they're like, but I don't think they ever asked him officially what he had to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But they asked him, and then the stuff that I was hearing from, like, y'all really just killed yourself. You know what I'm saying? Basically, you just killed yourself because y'all gave so much trust in this man. Y'all put it all in this man over some money.
That's all it is. At the end of the day, it's just a money thing.
You know what I'm saying? But they lost everything behind one person. You know what I'm saying? Like, they could have did that. He didn't have to. They could have told him, look, man, chill out. You know what I'm saying? You chill out, go make the money. You know what I'm saying? We got you. We with you with what you doing. You know what I'm saying? But just chill out and make the money. Don't be, you are a public figure. You're a big person to a lot of people now. You got a lot of money tied in with some people that need you.
The stories he was telling, it sounded like the guy Shotty. It sounded like that was more so his bodyguard, like that was his protector, and that was his main role in the whole situation, was to protect him. But where it seemed like where it started really fucking up at was 6ix9ine started doing reckless shit and start basically calling shots. And you don't let nobody at the lower level call no shots, and he was calling shots, and that fucked up the whole organization there.
That's what I'm saying. You put your trust in a kid,
a reckless kid
put your whole
too.
game in jeopardy for a kid
that was trying to beef with motherfuckers from damn near the same set as you.
Say you going to Cali starting up shit, going to NYU home starting up shit. And you going to Texas starting up shit. Like everywhere you going, you starting shit.
He had beef with Jay Prince.
I recognize one place he didn't go and really cut up like that.
Where?
And that was Chicago.
Oh no, he went there too.
He didn't cut up bad though.
Yeah, he did. He did. He went to he was beefing with Chief Keef and him.
That was in New York.
No. He went to Chicago and he took pictures, like, I think it was like he took pictures like at night, not early in the morning, like 4 or 5 in the morning, and he posted them pretending like he was in O Block.
Right.
And then posted them the next day like, I was in O Block and none of y'all was there.
Right. But you see what I'm saying? You see how he did that?
Yeah.
You see the movement on that?
Nah, he did that everywhere he went. He went to LA and was acting the same way.
He showed up in them places though. Like when he went to Texas and all of that, he showed up in them places.
He showed up in Chicago too.
Like,
he showed up in Chicago.
Wild though. You ain't going in there talking crazy with them folks and not. Nah, man.
Bruh, he didn't show up nowhere acting too crazy. Like, that's the whole thing about everything he was doing. That shit was just a big ass facade.
It's a gimmick.
And that's the thing, dog. I think that shit is a real teaching moment. The kids can see that shit. They can learn a lot from it.
Yeah, that's a learning lesson.
Yeah, that clout shit is not worth it.
I wouldn't even, don't even watch that. Don't even pay no attention to that. That's teaching you the wrong thing.
You think ignore it?
You go in there. You learn how to tell. Scripting your way into how to tell on some people, how to get rich. Don't get me wrong. He could teach you if you follow his scheme, the way he was doing his music and stuff like that. Dude was a genius. As far as coming to the money. But
all right, so
joining the gang was the wrong thing.
All right.
That wasn't for him.
We gotta break down the snitching thing. So snitching. What is snitching? Is snitching just telling on somebody? Like if you and your brother go into the store and he steal the candy bar and your mom asks where y'all got the candy bar from and you be like, bro stole the candy bar. Is that snitching?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a form of telling.
Okay, I call that tattletelling, and I feel like when we're young, our parents teach us not to tattletale leading up to the snitching thing. Okay, so snitching,
we're not gonna speak on when you're young. Then we're gonna speak on grown men.
All right, so grown men. So grown men. Snitching is someone involved in the same act that says "fuck it" and they trying to come home. Like I said, sorry nigga, I'm trying to come home.
This is snitching because it's not happened to me before.
Yeah,
this is snitching.
All right, so
you in a situation. You in a situation with another person. Period. Y'all rocking. Y'all doing y'all thing. Shit go haywire, go left. At the end of the day, it's we both going. Y'all know y'all both going. Or here they come and they like, Well, you don't have to go if you just what
Tell me
time it
what's
is.
going on.
You know what I'm saying? You know what
Yeah.
time it is. The second you start opening your mouth, that's it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's it. That's
All right.
it.
So here's $1 million question. Here's a scenario. You're in the car. Let's say it's your old lady. Y'all in the car. Y'all get pulled over. Something happens. Excuse me. There's something in the car. Police pull y'all over. He know there's something in the car, and he's like, "Hey, whose is it? Let me know now." Neither one of y'all say nothing. So they take both of y'all to the precinct, and she goes, "Hey, it was his. I didn't even know anything about it. Is that snitching?" It's snitching?
Yeah.
What if she don't know nothing about it for real though?
If she don't know nothing about it, she should keep her mouth closed. Keep her mouth closed.
That's always $1 million
Because you
question.
didn't know nothing about it.
Yeah.
That stick to your story. I don't know nothing about it. I can't tell you what I don't know. I would
Okay.
never, you know what I'm saying? Like I've been in that situation too. You know what I'm saying? When I went up the road, that was the last time. That was me and some people.
At the end of the day, I think all this shit breaks down to integrity.
Yeah, you
That's
gotta
all
hold
it
it
is.
down. You know what I'm
Just
saying? Like,
what
just
you
simple and plain.
live by.
It's like this right here. If you in the car and this me and you right here.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know nothing about it, but it's there. You know what I'm saying? It's there. Them folks pull us 9 times out of 10. Right.
I just noticed that shit. I gotta edit that shit out.
9 times out of 10. 9 times out of 10. You gonna have to be like, okay, this is my decision right here. Either he gonna own up. See, that's the thing. You have to know who you dealing with. That's why I say they didn't never test a man loyalty. You know what I'm saying? Because how do I know that? I know if I'm in the car with you and we both get pulled over, you know for a fact I'm gonna be like, hey, don't even worry about that. I got that. You know what I'm saying? We good.
Yeah.
They didn't take the time to test that with the man. I don't believe they had that opportunity, and you just kept committing to act after
Shit
act,
started
and
happening too fast.
happening too fast. So now it's like, damn. And the next thing you know, you got to think this is $1 million man. Now he's behind bars, and all he can think of is, I don't want to be back here. I got millions of dollars.
But you know what's crazy? When they first started out, he didn't have that much money. They said early when he started out, like after he did fucking Gummo, he was getting paid like $15,000 a show. Right. It popped like that
Real
though.
fast.
A couple months went by, he started getting paid $250,000 a show.
Dude was doing it.
Yeah,
but
that shit's crazy.
I don't know what I was looking at, but he went overseas and started doing stuff over there. Like,
yeah, Eastern
that's
Europe.
That's what really, you know what I'm saying?
And Saudi Arabia and Czechoslovakia.
Because you got to think about him and his nationality. So it kind of worked out for him. You know what I'm saying? And then the fans, they fans nuts.
It's crazy because like he had the image, but them implementing the gang culture into his image is fucking nuts.
Yeah, yeah. Because that don't even match up. Everybody said it from the beginning. This fucking kid with this rainbow hair.
Yeah. And like in the whole testimony, every time they was like name the times where Shotty protected you, it all was the same. It was a nigga in the set, like, I don't fuck with his rainbow head motherfucker. They all said the same thing. And Shotty had to come to his rescue, like, give him the phone. Like, yeah, nah. Hey, I ain't gonna lie, that nigga had he had a rough run, bro.
Yeah.
Imagine,
he could have had that shit could have been super duper smooth. Like, you gotta think, this nigga could have been like, look.
You think he would have popped without the image though?
Nah. Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
How?
He was already doing it.
Yeah, that's true. He did.
Doing it. You know what I'm saying? Only thing he had to do was just the little bit he was doing with them to be, you know, who he was, and then keep them in the background. You know what I'm saying? Just let them do their thing. So nobody. But either way it goes, I ain't gonna lie. Either way it goes, I believe that whole thing would have failed because of him and because of them. Because if they watching him because of who he's affiliated, they watching them too. So either way it goes, they was going.
So what you think it would have been a situation like with Murder Inc. when they infiltrated Murder Inc. Ashanti and Lloyd ain't had shit to do with it. It would have been one of them type of situations.
They watching you still.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They watching you still because of who you are. You're the one with the money. These are the people playing the street background. You know what I'm saying? And you feeding them some way for something. It's a reason for why you are tied to these people, for why you're feeding them the way you are.
Yeah.
And so eventually, you know, all the acts of the shit they was doing, it would have came out. It would have came to light eventually. And if he had to go down, as we see, he's not going down alone. And if he does go down alone, he's gonna make sure that he gets what he want out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
they asked him. They said, so when did you start basically working for the people? And he was like, I think the next day after they came down and
Yeah,
indicted us.
yeah. When did you start working with I think FBI? And he was like the day they took us down.
Nah, he said the
The
next
next
day.
day, yeah, the next day, the
Yeah.
next day after they
That
took us
shit
down.
crazy. That's all it
Yeah.
took, bro.
Like, but
You
that's
couldn't
what I'm
even
saying.
think about it.
When did you try this man out to see if some shit like that happened? What he would
I don't
do?
care what nobody say, dog. I think he owed them people, a little bit of loyalty.
He owed them some money.
At least a little bit of loyalty,
He
bro.
owed them folks some money.
Oh
He
yeah,
ain't
and they was
thinking about
protecting
that.
him,
Yeah,
and
man,
they was
that's what
funding
I'm
his
saying,
whole
but
career,
He
basically.
ain't thinking about
Not funding, but
he probably was thinking about Shotty more than anybody.
yeah.
Because I don't think anybody else around him really fuck with him. They was just around him because, like, okay, my nigga with him, we rock with him, and everybody's eating off of him. So we're gonna keep it cool. But the minute, and that's why I say I don't know, like his outcome coming out. I don't know how thorough them people are, but you might well just stay in there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might well just stay in there. It's clear to see you naming everybody.
Yeah, they said they was sitting in court just looking like they already knew their faith. Like they just was looking at him just not giving a fuck. And I understand that shit, dog. Like it's over. Like especially for Shotty. Shotty already pled guilty and got his 15 years. Everybody else, they on trial for racketeering, and you know what that brings? That brings a life sentence. So it's pretty much over. And then a lot of people don't understand why the questioning went how it went. And I said that already. Like they're just trying to prove that he was an active member, and he was trying to that they was trying to extort him, and he got out of it. Right. The funniest shit though, and I feel like his testimony is the best interview we ever seen by 6ix9ine. The funniest shit was when this nigga was explaining what happened the day he got robbed. Because remember, we all was thinking like, man, this shit don't sound real. This shit sound like it was set up. Right. Now we finally get the truth. The truth is, them niggas told you, look, you need to go do that internet shit somewhere else and stop all this Billy shit. You ain't down with us no more. Right. And that nigga still was on that bullshit. And they went and kidnapped his ass.
Get that, but shit, he said some real shit. He told Envy, at Breakfast Club. Like, y'all biggest interview. And
yeah.
He knew that because of the shit he had around him. So he knew
he worked that whole fucking room. Yeah. And he didn't lie the whole time, bro.
Nah, that's why I say money, marketing ways, beast.
Yeah.
Could have been a millionaire and been a successful one. You know what I'm saying? Without
I know he broke as hell. Now that money gone, nigga.
Yeah. He done, man. That man was trying to give all the money in his bank account to get out of prison, man.
What?
You know what I'm saying? So
couldn't nobody get him out but the folks.
That's over with. Like it ain't much left to.
So what you think next for him though?
Nothing.
Nothing. I know that case gonna take at least what you think, like 5 to 6 months to wrap.
They'll probably be rocking that bitch for like another year.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, you got.
As soon as the case over, he's out of there though, right?
Yeah, he might be all right, but they digging for more people. I can guarantee you.
Yeah,
they ain't stopping at just what they got. It's more to that now. That's my guess, but it might be over with. You might once he's out of it, you won't hear much more about it. You know what I'm saying? Because now the main.
What do you think he does next though? Stay in witness protective custody for the rest of his life?
I really don't know. Like that ain't no.
I think his life over, dog.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like if you come out of there, you done told on people who are not going to jail, but you've told on people who I'm sure are connected with people who don't care to go to jail.
And he called one guy the Godfather. Right. So it's like you naming people by those type names.
Nah. He called him the grandfather.
Then the Godfather.
Then he straightened his words up and called it the Godfather. And this is how you know you some bullshit when motherfuckers is like, oh, we had to keep teaching the niggas signs and symbols and this, that, and the third. And like, come on, man. Niggas ain't shit to us. Get that image up.
Yeah.
Like, stop playing.
Bro, before we started recording, I went back and watched all his videos, and I just was looking, and I was like, even before I read all this, and all his testimonies, it still looks stupid, but now it looks even stupider. I'm like, these niggas, all these real gangbangers, got this rainbow head motherfucker hobbling around, looking like he don't know where the fuck he at.
Yeah. And all that did was just draw attention. That's all he ever wanted was attention.
Oh, and then I had forgot that which one was it? Cuda Kuda, he had some GS9 members in that video.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, these motherfuckers was wilding, boy.
Yeah.
And y'all already seen what happened to Bobby Shmurda, and y'all still popping up in videos.
Right. And the thing is everybody. That's what I said the other day. I said everybody that was involved with him that had anything going on that they didn't want, to be known.
Mm-hmm.
I feel bad for them. You know what I'm saying? Because what's being said in court is just being said in court. He's had months to sit there, you know what I'm saying, and talk to people one on one. You know what I'm saying? So there's no telling exactly how much shit has been told. Not just about no disrespect to the game, but damn what he done said about the game. You know what I'm saying? Y'all brought that upon yourself.
Yeah.
I can't speak for y'all, but everybody else who don't, you know what I'm saying, who's just living, you know what I'm saying, and ain't being bothered right now, he might be fucking up somebody else's, you know what I'm saying, so.
That's what happened with all that telling. A lot of people gonna suffer from it.
Yeah, be on your P's and Q's. Everybody out there that dealt with the man, you know what I'm saying, Nicki Minaj, you blew up with him too, you helped him a lot, so you just you never know. You never know what people are involved in for why people can tell so much. I say the less I know, the less I can tell. I ain't telling nothing no way, but the less I know, I stay away from it.
Hey, I want everybody that's watching this to know, especially if you're if you're in a room full of people, it can be your closest homeboys, it can be your family members, your brother, your sister, your mama, whoever. 97.5% of those people in that room with you are telling on you.
Yeah, that ain't for you.
And this situation right here is showing people true colors. I was just on Facebook a minute ago, and I seen somebody on there and was like, I don't give a fuck what the situation is. If they come up to me talking about 75 years, I'm telling. It was a female, and okay, I know she for real. These niggas thinking the same thing.
Right.
Man, I told,
sure.
bruh, I told my nigga Damo a long time ago, dog, and you probably gonna disagree with this shit, but I'm just gonna say it straight up. Bruh, when a lot of niggas got, especially little girls, when they got little girls and you see them and they love their little girls so much, don't get me wrong, everybody loves their kids.
Okay,
but I'm talking about the type person that like loves their kids. Like their kids is everything. Of course, your kids is everything. You got kids.
Right.
Your kids is everything. But I'm saying the type person like their world just revolves around it. Like, nigga, fuck my job, fuck my career. It's my kids, nigga. Like, I'll go work at McDonald's so I can goddamn be with my kids 24/7.
Right.
That nigga gonna tell on your ass.
He gonna tell. He probably is.
And I'm not saying everybody else don't love their kids.
I'm the same way about my kid. I would do it like if I didn't have to work so much, I could spend all my time with my kid. I'm cool with that, but I ain't finna tell.
Yeah.
I'm not finna tell.
No. See, because, bro, you can tell what type nigga is like that, though.
Yeah, you can pick them out.
And I know it's going to be some niggas that hear that.
Ask them a simple question. Hey, my nigga, if this happened, what you going to do?
Yeah.
That's all you got to do. Just get something simple. And he'll tell you.
Mm-hmm.
He'll tell you. He might try to switch it and make it sound like, but you're going to know because he's going to hit you with the, you know what I'm saying? Like, he'd be like, what? Hold on.
Never see,
just to answer that question.
Never see my little girl again? Oh, right, nah, nigga, exactly. It's over, nigga.
I ain't gonna get to eat what I want to eat. I ain't gonna get to do what I want to do on my time.
Like, Fat Joe was just on Breakfast Club talking about he was trying to get the guard to sneak a steak in. Day 2.
Negative.
Day 2, this nigga trying to get a guard to sneak a steak in, bro. Like, damn, bro, you can't go without eating good for 2 days.
Negative. That's what I'm saying. It's shit like that. That's what be making motherfuckers break. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially if you got like a real case. Like, especially like just think it's your first time getting knocked for some big shit.
Yeah.
You ain't never really been in no shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think dude ever really been in anything serious.
He hasn't.
And that's the first serious thing.
He said straight up on there, he he worked odd jobs. Like, the truth about his life story is he actually did grow up poor. Because I thought the nigga whole life story was a lie, but he broke it down. He actually did grow up poor. He worked odd jobs. He worked in a grocery store and things like that.
That's what I say. Other than making $1 million, the only other big thing that happened to him is this case.
Yeah,
that's it. You know what I'm saying? And this is how he handled it.
Sorry, that nigga's story got to end this way, but it's over with.
Yeah. That's a terrible way to go out, though. Like, you started really, really well with your daughter. You know what I'm saying? With your daughter, as she grow up, she get out of that. You know what I'm saying? What does she gain out of that?
Daddy was a rat.
Yeah, like he made a bunch of money and then we went broke.
And it's different from people speculating that somebody was a rat. It's well documented. Like, I know you done seen people black and whites and was like, damn, this nigga was telling. This is all over the internet. This shit is everywhere. So it's like you can't even escape it.
There's no denying it. They
bruh,
got you
before we get out of here, I gotta tell this story. Dog, I remember one time, bruh, I ain't gonna say shawty name, but this nigga Joe had went to he had went to court or whatever, and he was like, man, they talking about they got a witness statement and da. And he was like, wasn't nobody there.
Right.
Bro, he gets the black and white back, and he was like, Slim, read this bullshit to me, bro. I read that shit, bro. The person with him was the witness. But this is what they didn't know. They didn't know, like, the person didn't know that you don't have to write a written statement. Police have, the cams on their vest. So your verbal statement is a statement. So her verbal statement was on the thing saying, I don't know what happened. I don't know why Joe did that. And he did this and he did that. Oh, wow. I was like, oh, this is crazy, bro.
Damn. Yeah, that's a bad way to go out there. Bad. She told and didn't even know she was telling.
Yo.
Just told.
I'm gonna find that black and white and show it to you. I don't know why I
can't. I ain't gonna,
because it's in my phone.
I don't know. I can't say that. I can't call that snitching because shit. You should have just said you don't know. You don't know.
Oh nah, that's super snitching right there. That's super snitching,
you should have been like, you don't know. You don't. What are you talking about? Period.
You go somewhere with somebody and they get to fighting, and then you tell the police everything that happens, and you get them locked up. Oh, your ass is wilding, bro.
Yeah, you tripping.
Well, yeah, man. Shit. In closing, man, watch the people around you. 97% of them is some snitches. I knew that at a very young age.
Keep the grass low, man.
For real.
Grass low. Watch the motherfuckers around you.
If you even think they some snakes, they some snakes, bro.
Yeah, watch your family. They do it too. Because
you never know. Especially if you got a nigga around you wearing a purse with rainbow hair.
Oh, man.
That nigga definitely up out of there.
Around me, period. I'm sus.
Nowadays it's iffy.
What the fuck you got going on? I'm looking.
But yeah, man. Another episode Sit Down with Slim. We out, man.